Is the sexual education in our schools doing enough to equip young people with the necessary knowledge and skills for their sexual health and well-being? It's a question we need to ask ourselves as we delve into the current state of sexual education in schools. In many regions and communities, abstinence-only programs are prevalent, despite ongoing debates about their effectiveness. As Chalet's article outlines, the US sex education policy is a battlefield of narratives, with abstinence-only and comprehensive sex education approaches locked in a tug-of-war. This dichotomy presents a challenge as it leaves educators and policymakers balancing different priorities and perspectives. Yet the stakes couldn't be higher. A lack of comprehensive sexual education can lead to inadequate knowledge about crucial topics such as sexual health, consent, contraception, and STI prevention. This not only perpetuates stigma and misinformation, but also encourages risky sexual behaviors among adolescents and young adults. The question then becomes, what impact does this type of education have on our young people's attitudes and behaviors related to sexual health? What happens when we prioritize abstinence-only education over comprehensive sex education? This question brings us to the crux of today's discussion. Let's delve into the findings from Grasso and Trumbull's study on the influence of different types of sex education on safer sex communication and behavior. Their research paints a stark picture of the impact of abstinence-only education. It's not just about what is taught in these programs, it's about what isn't taught. Abstinence-only education often leaves young people in the dark about crucial topics such as sexual health, consent, contraception, and STI prevention. This lack of comprehensive sexual education can lead to gaps in knowledge that are filled with stigma and misinformation. The result? Risky sexual behaviors that can lead to adverse health outcomes, such as unintended pregnancies and sexually transmitted infections. Now, you might be asking, but doesn't abstinence-only education promote safer sex by discouraging sexual activity altogether? Well, it's not that simple. Grasso and Trumbull's study found that the absence of comprehensive information about sexual health doesn't necessarily lead to abstinence. Instead, it often results in young people engaging in sexual activity without the necessary knowledge and skills to protect themselves and their partners. Imagine trying to navigate a city without a map or GPS. You might eventually reach your destination, but you're likely to make a lot of wrong turns along the way. That's what it's like for young people trying to navigate their sexual health without comprehensive sex education. The absence of accurate, comprehensive information leaves them vulnerable to misinformation and risky behaviors. This isn't just about individual choices, it's about the societal frameworks that shape those choices. As Chalet's article highlights, the type of sex education students receive is deeply influenced by broader societal narratives and priorities. When abstinence-only education is prioritized over comprehensive sex education, we're not just limiting the information students receive, we're shaping their attitudes, behaviors, and understanding of sexual health. It's clear that the type of sexual education students receive can significantly influence their understanding and behaviors regarding sexual health. And with that understanding, it becomes even more crucial that we advocate for comprehensive, inclusive, and accurate sex education for all students. How does gender factor into the equation? Let's delve into a study by Dlamini and colleagues who explored gender factors related to sexual abstinence among rural South African high school students. The findings shed light on how cultural, societal, and gender norms influence sexual behaviors. For instance, in certain societies, traditional gender roles and expectations may shape the way sexual education is delivered and received. Boys might be encouraged to be sexually assertive, while girls are often advised to abstain. This disparity not only perpetuates harmful stereotypes, but also leaves many young people ill-equipped to navigate the complexities of sexual health. In some cultures, the stigma attached to sexual discussions is so strong that it hampers open, honest conversations about sexual health. Therefore, a clear understanding of these cultural, societal, and gender norms is crucial to the development and implementation of effective sexual health education. As such, a one-size-fits-all approach to sexual education doesn't work. We need to consider diverse populations and their unique circumstances. So where do we go from here? Now that we've explored the current state of sexual education and its impacts, the path forward seems clear. We need a shift towards comprehensive sexual education. This means providing accurate, complete information about sexual health, consent, contraception, and sexually transmitted infection prevention. Comprehensive sexual education has the potential to bring about several benefits. It can reduce stigma, encouraging open and honest discussions about sexual health. It can foster better communication about sexual health, equipping our young people with the knowledge they need to make informed decisions. And it can promote safer sexual behaviors, ultimately leading to fewer unintended pregnancies and sexually transmitted infections. We must remember that our young people are not just students. They are the future of our society. By equipping them with comprehensive sexual education, we are investing in a healthier, more informed future generation. Now is the time to act. Advocate for comprehensive sexual education in schools and help create a healthier, more informed future generation.